This is the Ullevi Stadium in Gothenburg. And this is the World Individual Speedway Final. Truly the climax of the Shale Shifters year. Yes, welcome to Göteborg. That's my attempt at a Swedish pronunciation of Gothenburg. I apologise to Scandinavian viewers, I won't do it again. You are about to see 20 heats that all of World Speedway has been building up to in 1991. For those of you not familiar with Speedway, there are 16 riders present. They will each ride in 5 heats. There are 4 men in each heat. Everybody gets to ride against everybody else at some point during the evening. The scoring is very simple. You get 3 points for winning, 2 points for coming second, 1 point for coming third, and no points for coming fourth. More of that, and it's important to keep those numbers in mind, of course, as we go along. But our Swedish hosts have got some splendid captions to keep you informed as we look at the class man of the field, H Nielsen of Denmark, wearing number 1 there in the red helmet, 31 years of old now. Believe it or not, this man has 18 world championships of one sort or another under his belt. 3 solo world championships, I think 6 best pairs championships, and those are on the trot, folks. And then there's a whole hatful of Danish world team victories as well. Number 1, H Nielsen of Denmark and Oxford in the British League. There in the red, facing the wrong way and practicing a start. Now, this is the first heat, Heat 1. Sponsored, each heat here incidentally is sponsored by a different company. An interesting thought. They are H Nielsen in the red helmet cover, T Knudsen in the blue, J Nilsen in the white, P Jonsson, the reigning world champion, in the yellow. The helmet covers signify the grid position they start from. Red is always on the inside, followed by blue, then white. There's Jonsson, world champion from Sweden, and yellow is on the outside. As well as getting to ride against each other, they also get to start from all 4 grids at some point in the evening. So the regulations, the standard formula, tries to spread out any advantage or disadvantage from any particular starting gate. Now, this is a fair bit of fencing and psyching out going on here. This is normal in a league match, never mind the first heat of a world final. And indeed, we have 4 men in this first heat of the world final. H Nielsen, T Knudsen, J Nilsen and P Jonsson. 2 Danes and 2 Swedes. P Jonsson, the reigning world champion. H Nielsen, a multiple world champion. Plus men who've been in team championships and indeed best pairs championship finals for their countries. Now, let's get them underway then, shall we? In yellow, Jonsson looks good. Knudsen in blue. Good stuff from Knudsen. Nielsen's right with him. Really, it's Nielsen we expect to win this. The man in red now in second place. But Tony Knudsen of Coventry in Denmark in blue is looking good. Oh dear, Nielsen was chopped there, wasn't he? You'll find there's very little quarter given in speedway racing at the best of times, let alone a world final. And H Nielsen is trying so hard there to get up the inside of his countryman. Lovely shot of good speedway technique. As P Jonsson in yellow and black, the reigning world champion, is in third place. Dear me, at this level, that is a dreadful thing to happen to a reigning world champion. The 2 Danes on the front and the home crowd somewhat subdued. Their 2 men back in third and fourth. Woo! So there you go, Knudsen, Nielsen, Jonsson and Nilsen in that order. Knudsen, Nielsen, Jonsson and Nilsen. Lots of Scandinavians in the first heat. And a nice example there. You see the three come up there saying that our man has 3 points from that ride and a total of 3p, 3 points. We're going to keep you informed. Second heat. Ronnie Correy is in red. He's American. Tony Rickardsson of Sweden is blue. M Shirra of New Zealand in white. And Armando Castagna of Italy and Eastbourne is in yellow and black. Tony Rickardsson, the home hope here in his first World Championship final. He's a bit of a star at his British League club, Ipswich. And again, you're going to see a fair bit of, how shall I put this, attempted psyching out of the opposition going on at the tapes. They try a few practice starts, they then convince themselves they're in the best possible position, they kick a bit of dirt up under the rear wheel to get traction, and when they see Tony Rickardsson turning round to have another approach at the tapes, then Armando Castagna in yellow, the Italian, goes and does the same thing. If you think back to the World Athletic Championships we saw on Eurosport and enjoyed so much recently, it's a bit like four pole vaulters about to have a go at the same time. Everybody's twitching, trying to get themselves in exactly the right frame of mind, convince themselves that they are doing it all right. The man in white, Tony Rickardsson. And I've had the time of the first heat, 70.7 seconds. That's a mark to keep in mind. You normally get one of the better times of the night out of the first heat when the track is in perfect condition. So an American, a Swede, a New Zealander and an Italian line up for heat 2. With the Swede in white probably the favourite, I'd say. Woo! It's Correy, the American in red. There he is. Rickardsson after him. Rickardsson, in fact, has come from the back to second. We were busy watching the American, who is gone, hasn't he? Ronnie Correy has gone. Rickardsson goes wide, oh dear me! That's Rickardsson in second. I'm getting confused. Dear me, Armando Castagna in yellow is now in third. Rickardsson is second. Let's get this right, shall we? Tony Rickardsson up to second. But I don't really think he's got a hope of catching Ronnie Correy, the American, who's out in first place now. I think we can safely say that Correy there showed precisely the value of getting a really, really good start. So, Ronnie Correy gets it from Rickardsson, Castagna and M Shirra at the back. 70.2 seconds. Faster than the first heat. Correy on 3 points, joins Tommy Knudsen. A couple of thousand English fans have got over to the final as per normal. Now I believe we're going straight to heat 4. Sorry about that, English fans, because in heat 3 your man P Thorp won and is now on 3 points. So Jan O Pedersen of Denmark is in red in heat 4. The reigning long track world champion Gert Ries of Germany is in blue. Our first look also at S Ermolenko in white and Kelvin Tatum in yellow. Jan O Pedersen, we saw him here on Eurosport just last weekend, winning the World Pairs Championship with H Nielsen. In fact, I should say retaining the World Pairs Championship. Jan O not noted for his lightning starts from any grid. Let's see if he gets it this time. Oh, he's got a flyer, hasn't he? Pedersen, yes, remarkable. S Ermolenko's after him in white. Then it's Rees. But Jan O, I was saying at the start there that Pedersen, as you can see, is a remarkably stylish and indeed spectacular speedway rider. But he is not noted for his fast gating habits. He's proved me wrong, hasn't he? Look at it. Look at it. He is flying down that long back straight. Ullevi's it's quite a long track, about 400 metres, but it's long straights and quite comparatively tight corners, and he's gone. Pedersen is leaving them. Ermolenko, Tatum and Rees are fighting amongst themselves at the back. Oh, that looks... Where are they? It's S Ermolenko, followed by Tatum and Rees in that order. Tatum is fighting hard, isn't he, for that third place. And in fact, Tatum's out again in the next heat, heat 5. Rather him than me. What a start for Jan O Pedersen. He wins heat 4. Ermolenko second. Tatum indeed gets that third place, didn't he? Worked hard for it. Rees is last. 70.3 seconds, just a tenth slower than R Correy's lightning gate start in the second heat. So there you see our winners from the first 4 rides. And the so far also rans. Obviously we've had 4 races, everybody's ridden once. After heat 8, when a few of those men have met each other, we might have a bit more of an idea who to look for as a potential world champion. As we look at heat 5, with Kelvin Tatum in red, there he is, for World Championship finals. As you can see, with best of third in 1986, one of the stars of English Speedway. In blue, it's H Nielsen of Denmark. In white, it's R Correy, who's on 3 points, don't forget, from his first ride. Again, as our caption shows you precisely. And our first look, we didn't see him in heat 3, Roman Matousek, the Czech, who impressed with his bravery, if not with his results in the World Best Pairs final from Poznan in Poland last weekend. This is heat 5. And really, H Nielsen has really got to win this if he's thinking about another world title to add to the collection. Nielsen in blue has got to do something about it. Correy in white is the winner. Oh dear, he tried to get a clever start and Correy's left himself everything to do. In blue, it's H Nielsen off the front. Correy's through from the back to third now. But Matousek's having a go back at him. Woohoo! Correy was wild there on that corner. It's Nielsen and Tatum, followed by Matousek. Correy's at the back. Matousek is fighting, isn't he? He went very, very wide there. Correy's coming back at him. But off the front, it's Nielsen and Tatum in that order. The race on the track is between Matousek in yellow and Correy in white. And they appear to have settled for that now. Last lap coming up. H Nielsen stylish as ever, looking to add a win to the 2 points he scored from heat 1. There he is in blue. Yes, a comprehensive win in heat 5 from Kelvin Tatum, Roman Matousek and R Correy. Well, as Hans celebrates, we'll take a short break and we'll join you for Heat 6 here on Eurosport in just a moment. Welcome back to Gothenburg. This is Heat 6, and that is Tony Knudsen in the white helmet colour. Tommy, who has a win from his first race, Heat 1 in fact he won, from H Nielsen, the man who put it over on H Nielsen, the man we saw win just before the break. Can Tommy do it again? He has Tony Rickardsson, the Swede, in yellow and black this time to contend with. Paul Thorp, of course, who won his first heat. We didn't see it. Paul is there in blue. A very good start indeed for the Englishman. And on the inside there in red is the German Gert Ries. He is a reigning world champion, Gert Ries, in long track, which is speedway with gearboxes and bigger tracks, effectively. Gert Ries on no points, Paul Thorp on 3, Tommy Knudsen on 3, Tony Rickardsson on 2. Thorp and Knudsen in the middle there are the men on maximum so far from their 1 rides. One of those records is going to fall here. Knudsen indulging in a bit of faffing about. They're ready at last. Ries, Thorp, Knudsen, Rickardsson. And in blue it's Paul Thorp. Paul Thorp, and he's away, isn't he? Under severe pressure from Tony Rickardsson, the Swede. Woo, and in white, Tommy Knudsen's there. Ries is off the back. Paul Thorp on 3 points for a win already, with Tony Rickardsson trying to go under him, pulling a big locker there. Thorp in blue, Rickardsson in yellow. Dear me, if the Englishman, if he can hold this, look at him crouching like a road racer, down to the level of the handlebars down the straights. Rickardsson in yellow closes up to him. Thorp looking like a long tracker, I should say, more than a road racer, of course. In white, it's Knudsen at the back. Knudsen, a man who won his first heat. He's not going to win this one. It looks as if Paul Thorp... Oh no, just as I say it, I said Thorp was going to win it, but he went wide. Rickardsson came underneath him. The home crowd love it. Tony Rickardsson, oh, that's a bit cocky. Rickardsson wins Heat 6 from Thorp, Knudsen and Ries. Rickardsson is so elated. Goes to 5 points. That is as good as anybody's got so far, of course. Woof, what a heat. And I mentioned earlier that the races here are sponsored by individual firms. This is the Gunnar's Radio heat, this, Heat 7. Rather taken with that for some reason. J Doncaster. He's in red on the inside. Then it's Jan O Pedersen, the man we saw win his opening heat. Then it's M Shirra and J Nilsen. One of those is going to get a point this time round. So on the form so far, Jan O Pedersen in blue should continue his winning way, shouldn't he? But Speedway's not always like that, especially as Jano's bad gating habits. He wheelies away from the line and he's pushed by J Doncaster. He's pushed. Nilsen looking at the inside. Whoa! It's Jan O Pedersen round the outside of a fantastic first bend. They are brave boys, this Speedway riders, and Jan O Pedersen is such a stylish rider. He's got it sorted out from J Nilsen now by the look of it. Dane leads Sweden. Red, it's J Doncaster next along, and M Shirra's off the back again, I'm afraid. No joy for Reading fans. And Jan O Pedersen pulling out a really quite impressive lead here in Heat 7. Looking back to check on who's there, and it's J Nilsen still in yellow. Jeremy Doncaster in red, M Shirra next in white. And so far, no one really has thrown any dirt at those immaculate white leathers of Jan O Pedersen's, have they? Woo, another win. And so, Jan O Pedersen becomes our only maximum man so far. 2 wins. There he is in blue. Jan O Pedersen of Denmark. Heat 8. You're looking at A Castagna of Italy. He has just 1 point from his first ride. Bit of misting on the inside of the goggles, I think he's trying to discourage there. That's Michael Blix, the Swedish reserve, is in white because B Hamill has been excluded for breaking the tapes. So, Jonsson, Castagna, Blix and Ermolenko. And it's it's Jonsson and Castagna with Ermolenko looking up the inside. Has Ermolenko got the pair of them? Ermolenko's in yellow. I think he's managed to do the Italian and P Jonsson, the reigning world champion of Sweden, in one manoeuvre there. Ermolenko of the States. They're right on him. Castagna in blue and P Jonsson in red. Dear me. Well, his heat had a couple of restarts, in fact. That's why Michael Blix is at the back in white rather than B Hamill. He's a reserve, is Blix, but it's all going on in front of him. Ermolenko is still leading, and he has a couple of points already. So Sam Ermolenko, if he holds out P Jonsson, the reigning world champion, he'll be very pleased with himself. A Castagna in blue is third, coming under pressure from the Swedish reserve Blix. Has Jonsson, can Jonsson attack? Can he go round him? I don't believe he can. It's going to be close. Whoa. What a heat. Heat 8. Ermolenko from Jonsson, from Castagna, from Blix. Sam Ermolenko goes on to 5 points. Another win for the yellow grid. The yellow and black helmet colour. The outside starting position. So, Heat 8 is over. We've had 2 rides. Jan O Pedersen of Denmark. He's got a maximum 3 points for each of his rides. There's the rest of the field. Nielsen's got 5. So's Rickardsson and Thorp and Ermolenko. And as you check out the tail enders, as it were, we're going to go to Heat 9. With Tony Rickardsson, Sam Ermolenko, H Nielsen and Jeremy Doncaster. So we've got a class heat here. That's Sam Ermolenko, who we just saw out in Heat 8. Getting a fighting win, it has to be said. This time Ermolenko wears the blue helmet colour. In red, Tony Rickardsson, a 5-point man. And indeed, apart from Jeremy Doncaster, they're all 5-point men. Now that white helmet colour that H Nielsen is wearing, there he is in the white, indulging in quite a lot of excavation on the start line. That white grid has not found much favour with the riders so far. And I would suggest to you that H Nielsen is shoveling as much dirt as he can onto the track where he thinks his rear tyre is going to need it. We're ready. Rickardsson, Ermolenko, Nielsen and Doncaster. Let's go. Nielsen's fluffed the start. H Nielsen is last into the first corner. Ermolenko leads from Rickardsson. Then it's Doncaster. Here comes Nielsen underneath Doncaster. Hans Nielsen already up to third. What can he do about the two guys in front of him? Oh, look at Tony Rickardsson. He's giving S Ermolenko a very hard time. No room. And Hans Nielsen looks at going around the outside. Nielsen in white. Can he go? Oh, Rickardsson hooks it to him as well. Ermolenko in blue leads. Nielsen looks across, sees Rickardsson determined to hold the inside line. Will Nielsen try the inside this time? He's looking for it in third place in white. Hans Nielsen, no thank you, says Rickardsson, and dives for Ermolenko. This is the best heat we've seen so far. Quality race. Can Rickardsson get the inside with 1 lap to go? Rickardsson goes for the inside. He's got him. Can Nielsen follow him through? Rickardsson in red, Ermolenko in blue, Nielsen in white. Last bend, and it is Rickardsson. The home crowd are going nuts. Rickardsson from Ermolenko. Nielsen is only third. Poor Jeremy Doncaster never had a sniff of that, did he, I'm afraid? What a race. Tony Rickardsson here in Gothenburg in his first world final goes 2-3-3 for 8 points. Second, first. So, well, it puts him at the moment, of course, in the lead. But don't forget, not everybody's had 3 rides yet. Oh, where are we? We should be at heat 10. I mean, that wasn't a particularly fast heat, by the way, that one you just seen. That was 72.5. They were slowed down a little, of course, by all that dicing. Now, we've got Billy Hamill, R Correy, Jan O Pedersen and T Knudsen out in heat 10. Pedersen this time has the unfavoured white grid that didn't do Hans Nielsen any good, did it, last time out. Jan O Pedersen and T Knudsen should be the two to watch here, as you can see. Billy Hamill and R Correy, the two Americans. Only 5 points between them so far. Jan O Pedersen, of course, is the only unbeaten rider out there now. Can he make it a hat trick? Jan O Pedersen in white. And he does. He comes across. He gets a bit of a knock from Hamill, but he ignores it completely. And if you're a betting man, whoa, look at T Knudsen coming through from the back. Knudsen fighting for that second place. That's where the action is. It's him and Hamill. Woof. But Jan O Pedersen looks like he is going to go 3 in a row. Such a stylish rider. A little guy. He's qualified for 2 world finals before this. In fact, the last 2 world finals he's qualified for, never made them through injury. And one of those injuries was a broken arm he got pushing a kid's go-kart, I believe. Something utterly weird. Can you believe being put out of a Speedway world final by something like that? Correy and Hamill and Knudsen are still at it for second place, but out front it's Jan O Pedersen. And it's 3 in a row for Jan O. He takes heat 10 from Hamill, Knudsen and Correy. Look at that, 3-3-3, a maximum 9 points. Heat 11 we're going to skip. I can tell you that A Castagna won it from Nielsen, Matousek and Rees. Doesn't really affect the standings at the top of the championship, because as you look into the eyes of Paul Thorp of England in white, this time he's got to contend with Kelvin Tatum in red, P Jonsson, the reigning world champion, in blue. And in yellow and black, there he is, M Shirra, who's not troubled the scorers really so far. This, I remind you, is heat 12. And what can Paul Thorp do? This is the question that, if you'll permit me to revert to my nationality for a moment. I know Eurosport is a European sports channel, but English fans will be hoping for something from Paul Thorp out of that dodgy white grid. But it's red, Mitch, oh dear, that's Billy Hamill, who has failed to get going. As you saw, Shirra's at the front with Thorp back in third. That's Mitch Shirra in yellow. Thorp's fighting with Shirra. Kelvin Tatum in red is leading, and he appears to be getting a good Thorp adopting a very theatrical style down the straights while dicing with Shirra. This could be a win for Kelvin Tatum, and he needs it. Tatum in red, followed by his fellow Englishman Paul Thorp, with Mitch Shirra, a New Zealand, who will open his account because we've lost P Jonsson. I gave you a wrong name earlier, I apologise for it. This is heat 12. That's Kelvin Tatum leading Paul Thorp, and in yellow it's Mitch Shirra. P Jonsson was the man who stopped, or effectively stalled, or had a machinery failure getting off the start. Yep, that's it, heat 12. Tatum, Thorp and Shirra in that order. Johnson we have to credit with an engine failure, I feel. Well, Kelvin Tatum getting better with every ride. I think that's what you can say about that. We'll have a break now. There's the situation after heat 12, and let's be fair, P Jonsson's chances of retaining his world title disappeared when his engine stopped running at the start line of heat 12. Jan O Pedersen is on a maximum. Rickardsson is chasing him. Ermolenko and Thorp next along, looking threatening. H Nielsen surprisingly down on 6 points. And we're going to see H Nielsen next out in heat 13. That'll be instructive. Jeremy Doncaster, just 2 points to his name, I'm afraid. But there's P Jonsson, look at it. 3 points. The reigning world champion. He obviously now knows that any chance he ever had of retaining that title has disappeared. Heat 13. We have Billy Hamill of the USA there. He's in blue. Inside him in red it's Mitch Shirra, having 2 in a row. We have Gert Ries in white, the German. And in yellow and black it will be H Nielsen. And it's not being dreadfully unkind to say that unless H Nielsen wins this, another bit of Mitch Shirra again having some machinery problems, swapping bikes. Might explain his low scoring start. His low scoring first half of the meeting, in fact. There you are. H Nielsen on 6 points. Gert Ries hasn't troubled the scorers yet. Hamill's got 4 and Mitch Shirra's only got 1. So, unless we actually see an exhibition ride from H Nielsen, he ain't going to go anywhere in this World Championship. Heat 13, Shirra in red, Hamill in blue, Ries in white, Nielsen in yellow and black. Nielsen from the outside will cut across. Whoa! Oh dear, Billy Hamill. Did he get a clip of his rear wheel? Well, Hamill's got to the back anyway. Billy Hamill in blue. All sorts of unpleasantry in the first corner as H Nielsen. He's off. He's off to the races. I don't believe for a second that Shirra, Ries or Hamill would... Hello, Gert Ries. Looks like he's made a real mess of that corner. He's still running. I thought his engine had stopped for a minute. It's Shirra in second now. Hamill's been gifted third. Ries is back in fourth. And this is a form book race, folks, I'm afraid. H Nielsen There he is, copybook stuff. An exhibition ride for a considerable number of Danish fans who are here to watch him. 2/3 of the length of the long Ullevi Stadium straights is the margin. Back wheel stuff. Thank you. A bit of showboating from H Nielsen, who wins heat 13, from Shirra, from Hamill, from Ries of Germany. That's a bit more like it. Just that third place in his third heat, that 1 point there. You would not have put money on that number appearing on H Nielsen's score sheet. Now we're going to skip heat 14, which was won by Knudsen, from Tatum, Castagna and Doncaster, who I'm afraid retired with engine problems. So we're into heat 15. Or are we? I think I might have been telling you a pork pie there, folks. I am. This is heat 14. I beg your pardon. We've got Knudsen, Tatum, Castagna and Doncaster. I apologise. The producers have slipped one in on me there. So, Kelvin Tatum in blue. Doncaster in yellow. That's the British interest. Tatum's getting squeezed, but he's looking good. Doncaster's looking for the outside route as Tony Knudsen is off the front from... Whoa, here comes Jeremy, chops in front of Tatum. Doncaster's on the back with Castagna. Still Knudsen leading. Tatum after him, but not really within striking range, it has to be said, as we lose Jeremy Doncaster. So all three men will now score in this heat. And there it is, a welcome 3 points for Tony Knudsen. Kelvin Tatum gets second, Castagna collects the point for third, Jeremy Doncaster, I'm afraid.
The winner of heat 14, Tony Knudsen in red. Second.
And that's what you call a mixed record, isn't it? 2 wins and 2 third places for Tony Knudsen.
Red, blue, white, the order of finish.
But it's picking him up. As we look now to heat 15. Sam Ermolenko is in red, J Nilsen is in blue, Paul Thorp is in white, and R Correy is in yellow. So it's Sam Ermolenko versus Paul Thorp that we're really interested in here. Ermolenko on 7, Thorp on 7, J Nilsen on 4 and R Correy on 3. As you see, Paul Thorp with the unfavoured white grid. So look for a battle this time between this man in red, Ermolenko, and hopefully, for English fans anyway, Thorp. In white, the starting marshal getting them legally positioned, trying to get them up to the tapes. If you break the tapes, you're excluded. So there you go. Who's got it? Blue, Nilsen. Oof. Sam Ermolenko got tied in knots there. He ran up the leader's wheel, looking to push his way through, and he's gone to the back. Sam Ermolenko in red. Correy and Thorp in front of him. Thorp in second, Nilsen in first. Now Nilsen, he's not won a race yet tonight. Looking at that, he stands every chance this time. Thorp is in white. You watch Paul Thorp down the straight, it's like a long tracker, crouching down out of the breeze. Yellow and black is Correy, red is Ermolenko. And Sam Ermolenko's championship, or indeed rostrum chances, should I say, are receding fast because he is at the back of heat 15. Thorp looks like he's going to hold on to second. Yep, heat 15, Swedish win for Nilsen. Thorp second, Correy third, Ermolenko at the back. Jimmy Nilsen of Sweden and Berwick. Another man whose record is improving as this world final goes on. In the white helmet colour, the Swede. In yellow and black, the Dane. Jan O Pedersen, the maximum man so far. Inside him, P Jonsson, the reigning world champion, a man who has kissed that title goodbye. We have Tony Rickardsson in blue and Roman Matousek in red. We have a quality heat here. We're looking at Rickardsson, who's having a splendid first world final. This is heat 16. This will complete 4 rides for each rider, and we will have a very good idea of our rostrum contenders in something around 71, 72 seconds time, perhaps, once the tapes go up. Don't forget, after heat 12, it was Jan O Pedersen on 9, Rickardsson on 8, and Thorp on 7. And here we are in heat 16 with Rickardsson against Jan O Pedersen. So if you like, the first and second are out this time. In yellow, Jan O Pedersen. They tell me this man can't gate. What? Well, Rickardsson's after him in blue, but if you want my opinion, Jan's lost his helmet colour. He's lost his yellow and black elasticated helmet colour, but that man out front is the yellow and black gate man, Jan O Pedersen, the maximum man, on his way. Can he possibly be to 4 wins on the trot? Tony Rickardsson really trying hard. P Jonsson, the defending world champion, in white, and Roman Matousek of Czechoslovakia, he's at the back. There he is in red. Jan O Pedersen. Well, maybe this time he's going to get compensation for missing the last 2 years' world finals with silly injuries. There he is. Characteristic leg trailing style from the little man in corners. Superbly spectacular to watch on a Speedway motorcycle. Yeah, it is another win in heat 16 for Jan O, from Rickardsson, Jonsson and Matousek. Look at that, 4 threes, a perfect 12 points for Jan O the Dane. Come back and see if he becomes world champion in just a moment. Well, there it is, 4 rides each, and Jan O Pedersen has a maximum. Tony Rickardsson of Sweden looking good in second, the only man on 10. Then it's Paul Thorp and H Nielsen level for third place. Kelvin Tatum has 8 still, as we look at the rest of the field. Paul Roman Matousek and dear old Jeremy Doncaster, really. They are what the French would call the lanterne rouge, the red light on the back of the train. As we look at a crucial heat, this is the one where Pedersen could win the title. He needs just 2 points. It's 2 rides on the trot for him, and he's got the unfavoured 3rd spot on the grid, the white helmet colour. He's also got to contend with H Nielsen and Paul Thorp, men who are both looking with some lust after a rostrum position. Heat 17, H Nielsen in red, Armando Castagna in white, Jan O in blue, Pedersen in white, Thorp in yellow, and Pedersen from the bum white version. He goes to the front. Can you believe it? Nielsen's next along from Castagna. Whoa! Thorp gets under Castagna for 3rd place. Now, what can Paul Thorp in 2nd do about H Nielsen? Anything? And Jan O Pedersen is off the front of a quality heat 17. 2 in a row for him, 2 rides in a row, and if he stays off the front, he will be the world champion. H Nielsen is next along, a man who's been world champion more times than anybody could possibly dream of. That's in solo, pairs speedway and team speedway, I hasten to add. Well, Jan O Pedersen, is it going to be a maximum? 1 lap to go. Good Lord, it could be a maximum world final win. 2 Danes at the front. H Nielsen chasing, looking for a wild round the outside manoeuvre, but 2nd place will be good enough. It's not 2nd, it's 1st. It's a maximum and a world title for Jan O Pedersen. And as you can tell from those flags, Jan O is a Dane. Congratulated by H Nielsen, his fellow countryman. Woohoo! Let's move on. Let's go to Heat 19. Now 2 points here will give Rickardsson the runners-up spot. He's in yellow on the outside. He's got J Nilsen, Billy Hamill and Kelvin Tatum. Nilsen in red, Hamill in blue and Kelvin Tatum in yellow. Rickardsson is the man to watch in yellow, but it's the red, it's J Nilsen makes the corner, and Rickardsson gets a big push from Billy Hamill. Rickardsson's on the outside. He's a brave boy. He's into 30s, cuts back for the inside, looking to go inside Hamill. He does, and he's off after J Nilsen. But the 2 points he would get from this position, he's looking for the 1st place. Oh dear, Nilsen cuts back. Rickardsson looks for the inside. Now Rickardsson's guaranteed 2nd place, I believe, if he holds this 2nd place. He's guaranteed 2nd place in the World Championship if he holds 2nd place in this heat, is what I was attempting to spit out there. This is Heat 19. Woof. And it looks like J Nilsen, who started so badly in this championship, has got 1 lap to go to a 2nd win. Tony Rickardsson is next along. Then it's Hamill and Kelvin Tatum is at the back. Nilsen takes the win in Heat 19 from Rickardsson, who is 2nd in the World Championship as well. Then it's Hamill and Tatum. Oof. Look at that. Last, 2nd, 1st. Dear me, Jimmy, if you'd have done something in that that 1st heat of yours. As we go to Heat 20. Correy, Gris, Doncaster and P Jonsson. P Jonsson in yellow, who now knows definitively that he is the ex-world champion. And just totting things up, by the way, I think we're going to be due a runoff for 3rd place. But let's watch Heat 20. Jonsson in yellow from the outside. Correy's after him in red. Ronnie Correy pursues P Jonsson. The American chases the Swede. So at least the outgoing world champion is looking as if he is going to bow out with a win. It is, to be brutally honest, a relatively easy heat for him to do that in, although nothing is easy, of course, at this level. This is a world final. So it's Jonsson, Correy, Rist and Doncaster in that order, bringing the curtain down on the regular heats, the 20 regular races of an individual Speedway meeting. Yes, thank you, P Jonsson, saying goodbye to his home fans. A little wheelie down the back straight and a big one on the front straight. Good on you, pair. P Jonsson wins it. Correy, Gert Rees and Jeremy Doncaster wind up heat 20. At least the Swedes have something to cheer about, as Per Jonsson finishes on 7 points, which will put him into 9th place overall. Pedersen, we know, is the winner with a maximum of 15. There it is. Rickardsson has 12. Knudsen and H Nielsen 11 each. We're going to have a run-off between those two Danes. P Thorp, a very, very encouraging first world final with 10 points, level with J Nilsen. Not bad at all. S Ermolenko 7th on 9. It's Kelvin Tatum. Then it's the defending world champion, the now ex-world champion P Jonsson there on 7 points. Hamill and Castagna and Correy equal 10th on 6 points. As we look at the runoff for 3rd place, Tony Knudsen has drawn, rather than drawn, he's won the toss, and I assume he has selected the red. H Nielsen is on the outside starting grid with the white helmet. This is a runoff for 3rd place, the last rostrum. Knudsen holds his inside spot. Nielsen goes wide, gets the drive round the outside. Woof. H Nielsen looking for a rostrum spot. He's got, oh no, maybe he hasn't. Tony Knudsen's definitely in touch. Really, you'd put money on H Nielsen, but Knudsen doesn't know about that, does he? He's lining him up, looking at the inside. Can he find the drive? Has he lost his chance? Nielsen leading the runoff for 3rd place in the World Championship. Woof. And of course, you know what I didn't. H Nielsen wins it. He really did clear off there, didn't he, in the last couple of laps. So that completes the world final with, it has to be said, a rather unexpected maximum for Jan O Pedersen. The man they said couldn't make the gates, the man they said couldn't start, he has got a perfect 15-point score. Oh, as you look at H Nielsen in that runoff, hitting some dreadful bumps there. Kelvin Tatum was very unsettled by those during the meeting, he later said. Yep, 3rd place, H Nielsen, celebrated with a smashing wheelie. Confirmation there, Hans gets the notional +3 points, Tommy gets the equally notional 2 points, but it's Hans who gets to make it 2 Danes on the rostrum. And there they are. And here is their national anthem. with that wonderful slow motion shot of Jan O Pedersen winning his world title, we'll take one last look at the man himself and say goodbye.